We are here at Rochester City Hall, where there was a public input meeting with the City Council and the Mayor concerning the Granite Futures Plan that they are considering signing, which means a whole lot of things, but basically these are, it's an introductory agreement with the federal departments of HUD, EPA, and DOT. And basically, from what my understanding is, they end up with a bunch of zoning templates which would then be applied upon Rochester, and that the feds will supply that money to be able to do some of that stuff.
Let's attach some strings to some carrots.
And both of you spoke at that. I didn't know if there was anything else that you wanted to bring up, because after every time somebody goes ahead and says something, later on they go, darn, I forgot something. So, Warren, what did you not say that perhaps you wish you had had the time to say?
If I'd had more time, what I would have said is regarding the sustainability, regarding all the saving the infrastructure, building it in such a way as to conserve energy so people can walk to work, walk to the grocery store, discouraging the use of cars. These people worship at the altar of energy conservation, and I'm well acquainted with worship. Okay, I worship God, but I encourage people to worship the God that I worship. They want to mandate that I worship their God of energy conservation, and I refuse to bow down there.
Well, you certainly had the line of the night when you were talking about zones as far as bathroom fans, to the point where the mayor had to rap the gavel. The ending of which, and I have an idea it's going to become a YouTube hit, that to the point where if they lower the zone, they're going to be tuning you out, meaning the City Council. You want to elaborate on that just a little bit?
Well, that's why these types of agendas, they want them to go quietly through. They hate it when all these citizens show up, because when people find out what this agenda is about, of course they're not on board. So they like this to go through quietly, like an exhaust fan that runs and you never hear it. But I think that we make enough noise that they have to hear us. And we certainly did that tonight. Yes. We made enough noise they can't avoid.
Yeah.
Some words from you, Sue.
You know, I honestly think I said everything I wanted to say. There's no better template than our wonderful New Hampshire State Constitution.
Amen.
And the Bill of Rights, Article 1 and 2, fabulous. And just being able to read those words for the citizens here in Rochester who tune in to our public station, and for the city councilors to be reminded of their constitutional responsibilities. When we are public officials, I don't care if I'm in the laundromat or the grocery store or wherever I am a state representative. Even when I take my watch off and lay my head on my pillow at night, I am responsible to the people and responsible to uphold the Constitution and defend the Constitution and the people who are the government. We have the rights. We are the people. We are the ones. We are the government. And it's vitally important that we continue to fight for it. And when we give up our rights and there's no recourse, as I had said in there before, what are we doing? We might as well put shackles on. Here, hand me the shackle. I'll just put it on my leg all by myself and tie it on so I can drag it around and walk like Igor. You know, it's senseless, ridiculous. People need to be educated.
One last question for both of you on this. So as you were reading the Constitution, the thing that flashed through my mind was the Declaration of Independence, because the majority of that, everybody seems to remember the pursuit of happiness.
Right.
And our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Right.
But in the middle, there were 10 points that were made concerning the King's abrogation of private rights. That was the majority of the reason why, or in no small part, why the Revolutionary War was fought.
Absolutely.
The question is, even though that is there, we have it in the New Hampshire Constitution, in the U.S. Constitution. It was watered down. Happiness back then was known to be the pursuit of property. And it was changed at the last moment by Benjamin Franklin.
Too bad.
The question is, the folks that are pushing this Granite Futures Plan, do you think they truly understand the notion of private property, or are they more like the Democrat Socialists of America, whose paperworks basically lead you to the conclusion that they do not regard private property as being an inalienable right? Warren?
I think they understand it, and they understand the power of it, which is why they want to get rid of it. Because as long as these private property rights are held in such high esteem, they have no traction to subjugate the people and to put these type of plans through. And so private property rights for them is a barrier. Like one of the speakers tonight said, barriers need to be removed. That's their goal, is to remove these barriers. Well, one of their barriers is private property, and we need to hang tight on that.
So, same question.
We've lost so much sovereignty. I'm a sovereign individual, as you are, and every person in the United States who's a citizen is a sovereign person. And we've lost so many of our rights, and it's just been that stealth, insidious thing that happens. It's like, you know, boiling the frog. Everybody always talks about that cliche of boiling the frog. It's time that we jump out of the water and turn the stove off. We've got to recognize, and yes, I do believe that the agenda, those people, I'm certain that they completely understand about private property and sovereignty, and as Warren said, they are trying every way possible to usurp our individual rights. And we've got to fight that. I do believe that I think it's an evil. I think it's evil. I think it's an agenda, and by God, I'm going to fight it until the last breath comes out of me, and that's that.
Well, Warren Groen, so DeLemus, I want to say thank you very much for taking more than just a few moments with GraniteGrok.
You're very welcome. Nice to be with you, Skip.
Thanks, Skip.
GrokTV.